you like, the fifth crime against the peace of the planet.
Leads to around about 250 million gallons of oil were spilt over that period.
Leader in a position of superior responsibility is responsible for offences committed by members of staff under his authority.
Individual responsibility is important.
Foster life for future generations, for people on the ground, for humanity, for nature.
What's happening today here at the Supreme Court in London is that we're having a trial as if the international law of ecocide is already in place, as if it's already been put into our legislation.
There are some crimes that are regarded as so serious that they've been made international crimes, war crimes, crimes against humanity. This is ecocide applying the same kind of principles to a situation which relates to the environment as a whole.
The case has been opened to the jury that these two defendants are guilty of this offence simply because they are the chief executive officers of Global Petroleum Company and Grounds.
How much crude oil reached the sea?
Crude oil is a naturally occurring mineral, is it not?
What was the impact or effect on the first of the ecosystems, that's the ocean one, at either a surface or deep level?
Global Petroleum Company spent some $34 billion in the clean-up operation.
What is the impact on the bird community of these dispersants?
The use of chemicals was authorized and regulated by the United States Government National Incident Commander.
Correct. The whole ecocide law needs to be looked at very carefully. It needs to encourage companies to be proactive in better safety and in dealing with an incident and acknowledging ownership of an incident at an early stage. There's a slight danger that although an ecocide law may increase safety, it'll actually decrease a company taking responsibility.
Does your company have any procedure in place designed to distract birds or keep them away from the tailing ponds?
You don't feel that there might be repercussions for birds who land 3 feet away from a tailing pond where the water may be leaking?
Is there any aspect of your operation of the pond which has breached any of the Canadian regulations?
Of course, the operation itself is an extremely profitable exercise, both for the companies involved as well as for the Canadian nation.
There are some things that we simply should not do. Leave quite a lot of oil in the ground or deep under the ocean and not destroy vast quantities of boreal forest or pristine wilderness, the species for billions, literally billions of birds in order to extract just that increment of oil. There are some things that we shouldn't do. There is a red line in politics, but it has not yet been applied in the environment. And that's what the law against ecocide would do.
It's like saying in a wartime situation, oh well, we bombed Warsaw, but they've recovered.
You have heard the setting up and the use of their ponds is entirely lawful.
What has been created in Alberta along the banks of the river is irrevocable.
There is international law, both in customary practice and in existing treaties, that say that the damage of the environment, severe damage of the environment, is illegal. What we don't have is mechanisms to ensure individual responsibility, and so those international laws get broken. This was a really good start to building the mechanisms to have individual responsibility to ensure the laws are implemented.
Please stand. Do you find Mr. Bannerman guilty or not guilty of count 1?
Not guilty.
What number convicted and what number acquitted?
3 convicted, 9 acquitted.
Do you find Mr. Bannerman guilty or not guilty of count 2?
Guilty.
What number convicted and what number acquitted?
The decision was unanimous.
Do you find Mr. Tench guilty or not guilty of count 3?
Guilty.
What number convicted and what number acquitted?
The decision was unanimous.
The amazing thing is that this is an international piece of legislation that actually could be implemented quickly and easily. All it requires is an amendment to a document called the Rome Statute. And the Rome Statute governs the 4 existing crimes against peace. That's war crimes, genocide, crimes against humanity, and crimes of aggression. In fact, all that requires to amend it is a 2/3 majority of the signatories to that, which I think actually stands now at 86. So we're looking at 86 people in the world can determine the outcome for this piece of legislation to be put in place.